and welcome to another colouring book review from Colour with Claire. Today I'm reviewing Victorian Darlings by Hannah Lynn. This is her brand new book, her latest release, and I've been super excited about this for a while now, as I've been watching her Instagram and she's been posting little sneak peeks of some of the illustrations inside, and the book definitely does not disappoint. Now, if you watched my live stream the other day, you will have already seen a full flip through of this book, but obviously this is the sort of official review of the book. But yes, you might have already seen this on my channel. So we're starting up the book with the title page, and you do have a kind of half illustration here to colour if you wanted to. We then move straight into the typical Hannah Lynn style of having thumbnails at the front of the book for every single illustration that features inside. So this is good as a reference point, or you know, if you wanted to know the official titles of each of the ladies, you've got that right there. Now this book contains 25 different illustrations, but they're all printed twice. So you get the same illustration printed a couple of times, just in case maybe you go wrong on the first one and you need another one to start again. Or for instance, you do a certain colour palette on one of them and you want to colour it again in a different colour palette. You've got that kind of option there to do it again if you wanted to. So this one is a lovely lady encased in a kind of oval frame. Everything's very ornate, obviously with it being Victorian themed. Here we've got a gorgeous carousel illustration. It's a kind of full illustration with all the background elements, and quite a few in this book, definitely the majority, do have this kind of detailed background in them as well. So if you like Hannah Lynn but you've been looking for something a bit more complex, or you prefer her kind of more detailed work rather than the simple work, you'll love this book. So you can see in the background we've got the carousel mirror, we've got, she's holding onto the pole, all her scarf is kind of going behind her in the breeze, just creating that look of movement, and yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful illustration. Next we've got this Victorian lady here who is dressed in full garb with all of the swashes. She has her parasol. In the background we've got a beautiful sky, good for maybe using chalk pastels or paint or whatever you like to use. And we've got all the little hot air balloons, so you can do those in all different colours if you wanted to. This one is a landscape orientated piece, and it looks to me like a showgirl or a Moulin Rouge girl, a dancer. She has all of these frills and this corset, and she's lying back here on a chaise, very Titanic kind of draw me. And it has the rose wallpaper in the background. She's got loads of hair tumbling down, so again, lots of detail for you to get into. So here's the one that I finished. Now, if you did watch the live stream the other day, you would have seen me colour the skin and the hair in real time. So if you do want to see how I did that, just pop on back to the live stream. You'll have to look at part 2 because part 1 only lasts a couple of minutes before I got a phone call and it just cut out the live stream. So look for live stream part 2 of Victorian Darlings and you will see how I coloured the skin and the hair. So I coloured the rest of it off camera. I used my brickwork tutorial, which you can also find on my channel in the tutorials playlist. And yeah, just mostly coloured with Prismacolors. I did do the hair in Holbeins, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one's turned out. I tried to make the bakery sign look a bit kind of gold and a bit 3D. Hopefully that's come across. I'm not, you know, 100% happy with it, but hopefully we've got the kind of element there that I was going for. So we've got a little lady enjoying her tea here. She's got a little finger sticking out, as you do. Good etiquette there. She has a little hat and she's got loads of pinwheels, this huge swash of bangs coming down and a bit of netting. This is very, very Victorian. There's no theme to this one other than she's dressed in Victorian wear, but this is quite a simple one for you to do the background, just a bit of simple wallpaper there. This one, very, very detailed, so she is in her orangery or her greenhouse or somewhere where you'd keep your plants, and she has a big bird cage. She's got her pet bird, which looks a bit like a phoenix. We have the swashes of the curtains, very Victorian, the old style telephone, and of course in the background there's the windows going out onto the scene outside of the sky. So there's a lot going on in this image. Not least with her dress as well underneath. There's a lot of fleur-de-lis kind of patterning on the dress as well. This is one of my favourite images from the book. This one is, she's obviously ready to go on her cruise liner. Do we know if it's the Titanic? No, you know, it could be any, could be any kind of ship, but it does remind me of the Titanic. And you can see here that she's got all of these pinwheels in her hair, absolutely stunning. Loads of stuff going on with the hairpiece. I love this coat. I really want this coat. So if anyone sees one of these coats and wants to get it for me, that's fine. But yeah, she's got all of her baggage and all of her cases and things like that ready to set sail. I really like that one. So this is set inside a chemist or an apothecary. You can see that there's lots of different elixirs and tonics behind her, and she has all of these powders and solutions and pastes here for curing your ills. Love this one. It's another very highly detailed piece. It's the Circus. So we have this showgirl sat on her swing from the ceiling. She has her big feathered headpiece on. We've got the big top in the background with the fireworks. We've got the tiger coming in. We've got the elephant on the unicycle. We've got the bear. We've got popcorn. We've got ice cream, candy floss. We've got a horse coming up here with some, it looks like flames, so obviously going through the circle of flames. Just absolutely stunning, lots of detail on there. Now this is one that is decidedly more simple, so you have a lot of hair to play with here. You've got quite a large expanse of skin, not too much detail in the way of dress, and just the swashes behind, so quite easy one there to colour, I should say. Excuse me. Now we've got the lady here sat outside against the bird bath. We've got a tree in the background. Everything's pretty simple, but her dress is quite detailed. We've got the roses on here. We've got a kind of corset ribbon area, and I absolutely adore this hat with the ribbon that tucks under the chin. So this is a kind of standalone piece without much kind of detail going on in the background. She's in front of this large ornate mirror. She has the huge dress on with the big kind of, there will be a big frame underneath here to really enlarge the dress at the bottom. And she has her parasol as well. This one is a lady sat in her drawing room or her study or the library or anywhere that she is writing her letters. So you can see here she's clasping this one to her chest. I assume it's a love letter. We have the swashes again behind her, and this could be the back of the chair, I'm assuming. We have a few little succulents on the desk and a lot of writing equipment as well. We've got another landscape orientated piece here. This is a lady with her coach. So you can see we've got this huge ornate coach. We have the Victorian lamp in the background. She's holding onto her horse, and in the far background in the distance we've got some buildings as well. And in the foreground we have all of this cobblestone, so very reminiscent of that kind of era. Another standalone central piece, just a massive dress. You can see this is her body here, and the dress comes out this far, absolutely huge. And again, a bit of an ornate frame in the background. I do realise that I'm using the word ornate quite a lot, but I can't really think of another synonym at the moment. Decorative, there we go. So here we have a queen. It's quite obviously a queen. She's holding her sceptre. She has her queen jewels on her head, her queen's crown, there we go, crown. Yeah, just a beautiful image. She has this scarf thing that's coming down, and her rope belt. Very opulent, this one as well. So yeah, I really like that one. It's very detailed. And then we have a winter scene. So this little girl is holding her bird here. We've got the kind of snow-capped village in the background, a couple of trees to frame her, and her dress is very frilly and very furry, so that'll be quite a fun one to colour. We've also got some very light grey snow drizzling down as well. Here we are in the seamstress shop, so you can see behind her are the windows with the shop name on the windows like they used to be. We have a dressmaker's dummy and a measuring tape around there. She's holding some fabric, and yeah, that's all you can say about this one really. It's just very reminiscent of the kind of seamstress shops you would find in the Victorian age. This looks like a young girl sat on her bed with her pet cat next to the window. Again, we've got this kind of lead piping on the window. and the swashes of the curtains. Some very detailed wallpaper here and some wooden panelling on the wall. A couple of framed photos, a vase of flowers. Just quite a nice little one there, just not really with much going on, but nice little girl. So this one here, we have a school teacher. So she's looking very ready for the day with her kind of pose. She's holding the book, she's ready to start the lesson. On the background you can see here we've got her desk with the apple, with the pencil pot and all the different books. And then we also have, of course, the blackboard. Now I did colour a blackboard very recently in Romantic Country 3. If you want to see that, you can go onto my Instagram, see how I coloured that. And then in the background we have some more brickwork. So again, if you wanted to use my brick tutorial for that, you're more than welcome to do that. This one's really nice. So we have a Victorian building here. We've had a lot of Victorian dress and things like that, but we have the actual kind of architecture for the time here. So you can see that we have this huge kind of turreted house, and on the steps feature some pumpkins and we have falling leaves. So this is quite clearly an autumn scene. Now in her massive headdress here, there is all sorts included. We've got feathers, we've got a corn on the cob, we've got some wheat, we've got an apple, we've got a bow, we've got some holly, some berries, a pumpkin. There is all sorts going on in that hair. I don't know how she's keeping her head straight, to be fair. She has lots of ringlets coming down, and you can see on her dress she has this beautiful kind of peacoat with a big scarf on there. So it's obviously getting a bit more chilly. We're moving into autumn, so I really like this one. There's a lot that could be done with that. Here we have either a nursemaid and a child, or a mother and her daughter just sat in the library. Mother's doing her sewing on this old wooden frame and the little girl is reading a book. Again, lots of detail here on the carpeting, and of course you have the bookshelves in the background, but I really like this. It's a nice sweet little image, that one. Here we've got a little girl sat on a tree branch, so you can kind of see here that she is really high up. So below her you've got all of the fields and the fence and things like that, so it is set high up. We have a kite here and obviously the clouds in the background. And you can just about see the steps that she has used to get up to this tree branch. And she's sat with a little flower reading a book, and I think we have apple tree branches in the background, so that'll be a really nice image to colour. Okay, this one is just a random lady. She looks a little bit like those girls you would find in a bar. So when you swing open the saloon, you would find this kind of westernish girl. Obviously that's nothing to do with Victorian age, but it kind of reminds me of that. So she has her fan, all of these swathes of fabric, and she's got her hand on her hip, so she's looking quite sassy. And that brings us to the end of the book. Now the paper itself is your usual Amazon Create Space Fair. This is printed by Amazon, so you'll probably know by now that the paper isn't brilliant, but it's perfectly suitable, as you can see, for pencils, for blending, for all sorts. And with it being one-sided, you can just go ahead, put some paper behind to protect, and use your alcohol markers, your paints, whatever you want. So this book is selling in the UK at the moment for around about £7.80, and in the US around $8. I'll be leaving the links in the description as always. Do leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the book. Do let me know in the comments how you feel about the book and if you're going to get it and what your favourite illustration was. And of course remember to subscribe to my channel for more colouring tutorials and reviews and fun. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.